Welcome to White Shoulders, Boar, Goats, and Farmstead. Today we're going to talk about removing the CIDRs from your does. Well, good morning. It's Thursday, and it's the day that we're going to pull the CIDRs and put those does in with those bucks. So I'm going to get their feed and everything together, and then I'm going to pull the does out, and we'll go from there. I got to grab her and put her on the stand. Come on. There you go. Up you go. There you go. She can have her breakfast on the stand. So, today's the day that the CIDRs come out of the does. And just like when you put them in, you need to put gloves on. You don't have to, but I do, so. Anyway, I've got the doe on a stand. I gotta turn a light on here. You grab their tail. Just like when you put it in, they don't like it very much. Here is the CIDR string, and you just slowly pull it out. And they usually have to pee afterwards, so I went ahead and threw that away. Some people reuse them. I don't think that's a very sanitary idea to do, but I mean, you can rinse them off and put them in a bag and put them back in the refrigerator, but honestly, just get a new one instead of trying to spread disease. I mean, not saying that your goats have disease, but when you spread back and forth like that, it's a great possibility you can get that. So this is doe 1. When she finishes eating, I will take her down to the buck. You can see I changed the marker on Hercules yesterday, and today we have a yellow butt. So that's what those markers are good for. I knew she was already in heat, but this way if somebody else comes in after that 3-week period, he'll mark them yellow too. Okay, so old goat is ready to go. Oh, come on, old goat, turn. I call her old goat because she's just an old goat. And I'm gonna put her in the bottom gate instead of the top gate because I might have a better chance of getting her in the gate if I do that. Sometimes when you put a doe in later, it's harder to get them in there because the buck wants to be seeing who's coming in his pen. So, in she goes. He'll come down here eventually, but she's ready to go. She should come into estrus in about, anywhere from 12 to 72 hours. Well, there's Cleopatra in her nose. She doesn't even know she's even in there yet. Mirabelle does. So Wine will stay with Johnny for about 3 weeks, I guess, and see if she comes into season after 3 weeks. By that time, everybody in there should be bred. I think they've all been bred. When I put his girlfriends back in yesterday, he jumped on one of them with his new crayon because he had to try his crayon out. And then he hasn't messed with any of them since, so he still hasn't realized there's another girl in the pen with him. The next doe that we put in the pen with the buck, believe me, he'll know she's in there because he knows everything. Well, yep, Johnny hasn't even realized that Wine's in there, so. He sees her now. Just smelling. Testing the waters. She's like, forget you. And he'll probably mark her, but she's not in heat, so I don't have to worry about that. I chose to put her in here because she's old, number one. Number two, she's a full blood. And number three, I have no does out of her that I have been able to keep. And this is like a last chance. So we'll see what happens. Okay, now off to the next doe. I wonder if her kittens are gonna follow her. It's like, watch out, kitties. I'll have to milk her out before I take her. I wished I had a fan in here. Oof, it's hot. Just like before, put your gloves on. I do check when I have goats that I've put CIDRs in. I do check them every day to make sure. That just like before, grab your little string and slowly pull it out. So there's your CIDR. I just throw them away just like the other one. I don't keep them. And then you take your, this is a preloaded estromate. I give right in the deep muscle. And see what happens. Now I will milk her out before I take her and let her finish her feed. And then she can go visit with the buck. All right. Now we are off to see the buck. I try to sneak them in, so. Oh, and in case you didn't know, when your goats think that they're pregnant, their milk production decreases. So if you didn't know that, that is just a small tidbit of information that I thought I would share while I was talking about all this stuff having to do with breeding the goats. Unfortunately, I think Lucky's seen us. Horses are down here having their breakfast. And it is so humid. Oh my goodness. Come on. She's like, I don't want to go in there. He stinks. He's not paying no attention to me or her. So that concludes the and it's an everyday thing when I let him out for grass. Gotta squeal. So that concludes our CIDR education for the year. Thank you for joining us today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I hope you got something out of it. Have a great weekend.